Anyhow, so, yeah, this is just a bullshit throwaway video because I really don't have anything to talk about. And, I mean, I do. We all always have something to talk about. And some of us will talk the balls off a rhinoceros, so. I've always liked commentary videos where people just turn on the camera and talk. I always liked that format. It's always my favorite. I will admit, like Styx Hexenhammer, I used to watch him back in 2016, and I liked his videos more back then because he didn't just fixate on politics and Trump. He would talk about all kinds of stuff, which actually lended credibility to his commentary on politics. And then it was, I believe it was probably 2018, he changed the whole format of his channel so that it was specifically only about polling statistics and the elections. And just pretty much politics in general. But Styx, before that, Styx had a pretty, you know what happens? It happens to all these channels. Once they get big, they start compromising the integrity of their channel for the money. That's why I don't like the idea of getting, big, like a channel getting big. It's just like that Jane's Addiction song where he says, the bigger you get, the wider you spread. You got to depend on me, now your vision is dead. That's just the truth, And so I've always liked, like when I did channels, I always liked just maintaining a small subscriber base. And the thing is if a person is running a channel and doing commentary and they just stay true to their convictions and their cause and what their channel is originally about, as long as they stay true to it, they never will get big, in the sense of like, basically sellout channels. Most of these channels are just sellout channels, and all the smaller ones are getting driven off of platforms more and more. Everybody thinks that after the YouTube purge that all that stopped, and it hasn't stopped. I got driven off of my channel on a different platform than YouTube after I left YouTube, and that was only about a few months ago. And so now I'm just doing this a low profile channel now, but I never got more than maybe, my YouTube channel, I think I had possibly close to 1,000 subscribers or maybe more. I can't remember. No, it probably wasn't 1,000 though, because, well, maybe it was, I can't remember, but it was several hundred, and then I moved over to the other platform. Well, I got kicked off of YouTube because I was talking about, the flu and the elections, and you're not supposed to talk about that back then in 2019 or 2020. So I got kicked off YouTube. My channel shut down. They erased all my videos, everything. Hundreds of videos. Took it all down. So I moved over to a platform that supposedly was free speech. And all those small channels like mine, most 90% of them have all been driven off of that platform now too. And the platform is dominated more and more every day by big YouTube channels. That's all it is. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. None of this makes very much sense at all. But yeah, so it's really sad. Like, people think that the purge stopped back when the YouTube purge happened. It hasn't stopped at all. They've just refined the science of purging small channels. They don't want small channels, because what small channels do is expose what's happening with these bigger channels. You know, small channels, if you run a channel, you can start to see what's really going on. If you're just a passive kind of, if you're just kind of a passive consumer of video platforms, you'll have an understanding, of course. You'll have a much more of an understanding the more if you actually run a channel, though. And the more you do the channel, the more of an understanding of the way the whole thing functions you'll get. So content creators, as they call them, really are kind of cursed, because they're cursed with an understanding of the way these platforms function, a more advanced understanding than just your passive consumer does, you know. And as I said, the more a person does their channel, the more they understand it. So if somebody runs a channel, but they only put like one video every few months or something, they're going to have a lot less of an understanding than someone who puts out like 2 videos a day or 5 videos a week or something. And then also, like, channels that just mirror other content, they don't really have an understanding either, as someone who does commentary like this. Someone who puts their face out and actually does commentary of their own personal opinions, not mirroring the opinions of others, but expressing their own views and opinions. They're a lot more scrutinized than somebody who just does a channel where you never see their face and all they do is copy and paste other videos onto their channel. So there's all these different complexities and ins and outs in running a channel. And I think a lot of passive consumers don't have any understanding of this at all. They really don't even really understand the difference between a channel that is just copying and posting other videos they find online on their channel. That is totally different than a person putting their face out and expressing their own personal views and opinions. Completely different. Completely different. Because one is anonymous and the other isn't. One, you never see the person's face at all. You have no idea who's running the channel. You don't even know if it's just a bot channel. That actually a person isn't even running it. Artificial intelligence is running that channel. The other channel, you know it's not a bot channel, because the asshole is like me with their face in the camera talking to you. So there's a lot of crazy shit, dude. I did a channel for a long time. And, you know, I chose one of the most unpopular subjects that you could possibly choose to do a channel on. And unpopular subjects are kind of fun and funny, but they're also very challenging, because if it's an unpopular subject, it's going to cause a lot of controversy, which I've always had an appreciation for controversy, because the truth is controversial. The truth is not popular and trendy. The truth is not trendy and popular. A shock, I know, shocking, isn't it, that the truth is not popular and the truth is not trendy? Shocking, isn't that? So unpopular subjects become controversial because they don't fit with the popular narratives. And everybody likes to flock to the popular narratives. So I chose a subject that was, I don't even think you could come up with a more unpopular subject than what I focused on, my channel focused on. But despite the unpopularity of the subject, I was still able to, you know, pull in a decent amount of subscribers and you know, dedicated viewers and shit. So it was funny.